What's up, guys? Got a question from Jeremy. He wants to know, how do we learn what a healthy relationship is if it's never been modeled to us? A big fear of mine is getting into a relationship and getting hurt all over again, so I avoid intimacy because I don't know how to handle it. But at the same time, I want it and I go for it, and then I get super needy, which pushes them away. So I avoid it again. What does it mean to be in a healthy relationship and be a healthy individual? Is it possible to be in a healthy relationship if it's never been modeled to you? How can we learn? That's a great question. Well, the first thing is, if you watch any of my other videos, is the relationship starts with yourself. And if you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself, and you have a upbringing or a pattern of being in dysfunctional relationships, then you have to start gradually transitioning into loving yourself more and honoring your own desires and respecting your own boundaries, things like that. So, first off, what you're learning from the relationships that are hurting you all over again is a valuable lesson. So you can't avoid the bad relationships, because the bad relationships are teaching you what you don't want. So it's like making mistakes, right? You try certain things, and this applies to life in general. You try this thing, it doesn't work. You try that thing, it doesn't work, and eventually maybe you figure it out. So when you're in relationships, whatever they are, whether they be with family, with romantic, with friends, whatever connection you have, if you find yourself repeating certain patterns, or you have certain negative beliefs, or you have certain dysfunctional relationships that keep popping up, that is telling you, hey, this is a certain issue that I have to work on. And so by saying, oh, this hurts and I'm going to avoid it, it's not really helping you grow, because you haven't actually progressed beyond that pattern. And so what you need is to experience that pattern. But when you experience the pattern or the negative relationship, you got to look, hey, what is it showing me? You see what I'm saying? So if you're not using it for what it's trying to teach you, then you're going to repeat the pattern. But what I'm asking you to do is to take a deep look at what that pattern is and what you could do differently, so that when you get into another relationship, hopefully that pattern will be either eliminated or it will be less dominant compared to your last one. And that's how you grow. What else? How to handle it? You become super needy and it pushes people away, right? So that's one particular pattern that you have. And so as far as understanding what a healthy relationship is, like I said, is with yourself. You don't need to be in a healthy relationship to learn what a healthy relationship is. Many of us, myself included, have grown up around bad relationships with family, with romantic partners, with friends, etc. And so how do you go from that to getting healthy relationships? Well, first, you have to be connecting with yourself about what's healthy, what feels good for me, right? So if you don't respect your own boundaries and you do things that you don't want to do, and you try to please other people, and you allow other people to abuse you, and it feels bad, well, that's an indication, hey, I'm not treating myself in the way that I want to be treated, right? So if you're not capable of treating yourself in the way that you want to be treated, well, how can you learn what is the proper way for other people to treat you, right? You have to know what that is for yourself. And so when you're in these bad relationships that cause you to feel insecure, you can't handle it, you pushes people away or whatever, then those are all signs that are telling you, hey, this is not working the way that I would like it to work. And so the way to improve that is you got to start with the little stuff, right? So, like for example, if you don't know how to initiate romantic connections, you don't wait and find the person of your dreams to come up to you and say, oh, now I'm going to practice. Because chances are you're going to put too much on the line, and it's going to be too big of an event, and you're going to fuck it up. So you don't wait till the love of your life comes in to say, oh, now I'm going to learn on that person. You got to start learning when it doesn't matter so much. And when does it not matter? When you're connecting with anybody on any level, whether it be friends, your neighbors, somebody you're flirting with, somebody you might be interested in, somebody you're casually dating who's not going to be your soulmate or anything. And so you're learning about relationships in general. It's not about, oh, this is the big relationship now I'm going to learn. Because when you wait till then, you're going to fuck up because you're not going to know how to handle it. Right? Same thing as if you were doing a job or whatever. So you got some small job you don't care about. You might quit. Maybe it's part-time. And, if you lose that job, you get another one. And so if you're used to those types of jobs, there's not a lot on the line, right? But if you wait till I land this big job, this is the most important thing for my career. And if you have no job experience or no experience about how to interact with people, and then you wait for the one important event, and then now I got to get this right, or, my whole career is going to be fucked up. Well, probably you're going to fuck it up. And so I encourage you to try to learn from every relationship that you're in. Whether it's with children, with neighbors, with kids, with your animals. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's about what is a healthy relationship with me and what feels good about how I interact with other people. And as you progress and you move up the vibrational scale, it will make more sense to you what type of interaction is a healthy one. And you'll know, because for starters, you know that the ones that you avoid do not feel good, and that's not what you want. And so the only way to learn what you want is to get out there in the field and actually try it out. And so the more people that you interact with, the more that you figure out how you want to be treated and how you treat yourself, the more you'll start to develop healthier habits and healthier beliefs that serve you. And so what's a healthy relationship look like in a healthy individual? Well, healthy individual we already talked about. And so generally, healthy individual will respect their own boundaries and respect the other person's boundaries. And when you're in a healthy relationship, you want to be in a situation where it's mutually benefiting each other. So the person that you're in a relationship with, you want their needs met and at the same time meet your own needs. That's my definition. Because if you're not, or if one person is taking too much or giving too much, or in a worst case scenario, abuse, or some other situation where if it's not mutually working for both of you and it's honoring your boundaries and it feels good, and I don't mean that it feels good all the time, because you're going to have some challenges along the way. And in your case, if you're having trouble with intimacy and you feel yourself pushing, pulling, avoiding, then when these situations come up, you're going to have to start to gradually work on them. But understand that every relationship is teaching you something, and it doesn't have to be the one or the soulmate or the relationship of your life or your life partner. Because anybody that you're in a relationship with is teaching you something. And perhaps you might have to be in many relationships where you're learning different things, and as you progress and you improve, maybe then you become a match to a different partner, and the one that you recently had fades away, and then you learn a new thing from the next one, and you learn a new thing from the next one. And that's kind of how it goes. You can check out my video called Relationship Deal Breakers. And of course, you can check out my other videos on self-love, and I'll post some other related videos. Alright, so if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. please share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.